number 13 Pitt will try and book their return trip to the East Coast for the semifinals. And they're just underway here. A couple of teams that have gotten hot at the right time. Pitt unbeaten in its last 5. 2 wins and 3 ties in those games. Cal 3-1 in its last 4. And of course, right off the bat, the pressure coming from Cal, the home team, never expected to get a home game in the quarterfinals of this tournament, but here we are. Alongside the national champion of Virginia, Patty Foss, I'm Jonathan Yardley. And Patty, as we watch Gaku Nishimura line up this opening corner kick for Cal. Pitt able to clear it, but not all the way, and that one will give Jack Moxham a chance for a goal kick. The rare morning kickoff just after 11 o'clock in Berkeley. And Patty, here is the Pitt lineup, pretty similar to what they used against Clemson in the opening round.
Well, very similar. One change, Casper Svenby off the top, the reigning defensive player of the year in the conference. Look for him to bomb forward from that right back position, see if they can overload the midfield in the attack and have some attack down this near side.
Really slow start for a Pitt team that has gone to 7 straight NCAA tournaments under Jay Vidovich. As Cal continues to drive forward here, one of their danger men, Jinwon Park on the right, scuffed his shot there, and it rolls to Moxham in the early going. On the Cal side, Patty, what are we watching for?
Well, I think Cal knows who they are, and they really have been very consistent in the lineup. Kieran Bracken-Sarah will be inserted at that number 10 spot. Look for him to sort of pull the strings, try to press forward, and see if they can take the ball off Pitt deep in their own half.
First of 4 quarterfinals today, 2, 4, 6, and 8 if you're in the Eastern time zone. And then 4 teams will head to Cary, North Carolina for the semifinals later this week and next Sunday's final. This is Casper Svenby, nominally the right back, number 21 for Pitt, but you'll see him up in the attack all the time. Centrally, Beidouré's shot took a deflection, and it should be a corner kick for Pitt. It's first of the game.
Well, for 2 teams who don't score a lot of goals and who are very sophisticated defensively, this game is wide open to start back and forth, and you can see what both teams really want to put a priority on, and that's setting high line of confrontation, see if they can play this game in the opponent's half.
Grayson Carter, the freshman winger, lining up the corner kick for Pitt. Gotten a little bit more scoring recently. It's really been the defense, though, that started to clamp down. Less than a goal a game over those last 5 unbeaten. No clear look for that one. It'll be a goal kick for Connor Lamb in the Cal net. This is, again, one of the unusual spots for the Golden Bears under Leonard Griffin. They will rotate goalkeepers. Most games, Lamb will play the first half, and Marco Brager will play the second. And I asked Leonard Griffin, I said, what are you going to do about overtime? He said, honestly, we don't know yet. We're going to wait and see. But I would expect whoever was in there for the second half would stay in. That's a long way off, of course. Now, Patty, these teams didn't play during the regular season. They've only met once. It was last year when Pitt was number 1 in the country, and Cal stunned them at home. Early cross sent back toward that right wing. So what do you make of the matchup this year? Again, they haven't seen each other head-to-head, so there may be a feeling out process in the early going.
Well, certainly, and honestly, I'm a little bit surprised at how far forward Cal has come out and really pressing the tempo, trying to put Pitt on the back foot. So you see a good ball looking in behind there. Find Thorson offside, but Cal is a very sophisticated team in that they are very organized, that they'll keep their shape defensively and they'll pick their times to go forward. Pitt, on the other hand, is going to want to control the tempo of this game. They're going to want to knock the ball around. And so if Cal can dictate the tempo as they are early here, it will be a really good sign for the Golden Bears. And perhaps if they can find a goal, they're a really tough team to pull level with.
What makes them a postseason team, right? Last year they got into the everyone gets into the ACC tournament, but they got there and they beat North Carolina and Duke away back-to-back. This year they play Duke again away, not scared, come away with a 2-0 win. It's very different from their regular season form.
A bit, yeah, but I would say that they've been a bit unlucky in that they haven't gotten the results that perhaps they deserved in the regular season. But to your question on the postseason, it's just what we're talking about. They're very organized, which means they're hard to break down and they're hard to score on. They know themselves. They know when to pick their times. Leonard Griffin, that man, has done a tremendous job of finding his team identity. And so when we talk about the run they made in the ACC tournament to the semifinal last year, the win on the road at Duke, and really the win to finish the regular season against Stanford, they're a really tough team to break down, and they have found goals recently when it matters.
Yeah, they've ended each of the last 2 regular seasons by beating Stanford, which is, of course, the biggest game on their schedule every year. And then you add to that Stanford this year was #1 in the country, is almost always top 10. And to end the season back-to-back years by beating them, Leonard Griffin said, that gives our guys a belief that we can truly beat anybody. And they've used that to their advantage in the postseason play. Space for Grayson Carter centrally, tried to slide one for Albert Torsen. One back by Beau Morrison. And that shot smashed over, but Cal may have had more of the ball, more of the territorial advantage, but Pitt's looked dangerous when they've gone forward.
Well, that's right. They've looked dangerous now twice in those same spots, which are right in front of the back line of the Cal Golden Bears. You get a look there at Jay Vidovich, who's just done such a tremendous job at Pitt now in his 10th year, and the rebuild that he took upon the Panthers program into what is now a national contender year in and year out, has had a bit of a down year here in 2025. But really, when you look at this Pitt team and the results that they've gotten, they've played an extremely tough schedule, maybe the toughest in the country. They haven't really lost any shockers. They just haven't gotten the wins, haven't gotten the goals in key times, and are looking at, yet again, a must-win game here if they want to keep the season alive.
Torsen towing the offside line, and it was an important touch from DeAndre Pickett's at the back for Cal to keep that out of his path. Both teams come in with an even 500 record. Pitt 6-6-5, Cal 7-7-2. Of course, you play in the toughest conference in the country, 8 conference games. It's going to take a hit on your record some years. Beau Morrison, so influential, 23 in the middle for Pitt, was able to turn out of pressure to start this move, which winds up with Lasse Dahl on the left. Great hit, and well down to his left for Connor Lamb to not give up a rebound there.
This is where Lasse Dahl is at his best, when he can line up and go one-on-one at some of those opponents. If you need evidence of that, look no further than the last round and Clemson and the banger that he scored there from outside the box.
Now, reminder, our ACC Network Friday night men's basketball doubleheader coming up. Cam Boozer and #6 Duke hosting Indiana State at 7 Eastern, followed by Caleb Wilson and #25 UNC hosting North Carolina Central. Both games available on the all-new ESPN app. Crazy year in college basketball when it seems like the headliner for every game is a freshman. 10th minute at Berkeley, the rare Sunday morning kickoff to start the ACC men's soccer quarterfinals. Following us is Virginia and North Carolina. NC State, Syracuse at 6 Eastern. Stanford, SMU at 8 Eastern. Although, again, 2 of these 4 games hosted in the Pacific time zone. Maybe we should be listing these times in PT. Rashawn Clark, the referee, whistles the foul against Nishimura, so free kick coming for Pitt. We're seeing Grayson Carter, Patty, central a lot to open up room for Svenby on the right. How do you deal with that if you're Cal?
Well, I think you got to have a lot of communication. You got to be able to pass off Carter. What Carter's done well here early on, as has Badere, is find pockets of space in between the lines of Cal. Cal will drop deep into those 2 blocks of 4. And so if Pitt can play in between the lines and find pockets of space in which to get Carter turned, they'll be very dangerous. The freshman has been so good here in his initial campaign for the Panthers and looks the part again through 10 minutes here.
Carter, number 20 for Pitt from Boise, but spent time in the MLS academies of both the Portland Timbers. Portland has a setup in Boise, and Real Salt Lake before arriving at Pitt this year. He'll deliver the free kick, 12th minute. That was not how it worked in the practice session, I can promise you. Out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think my reaction was similar to our Novel Majana there with his hands up, wondering if you're going to play it short, you got to have an idea where you're going to go. It seemed like almost the short one caught Nicholas Sorensen off guard there and doesn't really have an idea once this ball comes to him where you're going to put it back post. Well, all the runners are near post, so a little bit of a wasted opportunity there for Pitt.
Well won by the lurking figure of Lukic. 6'3" Serbian. Settled by Ortiz, number 19, the left back for Cal. But his pass was blocked away. Knocked up the line and out for a Cal throw here in the early going. Tayu Clements to throw in. Grad transfer from Duke, got to start and beat his former team in the opening round. No Alan Juarez for Cal, one of their key midfielders, and so Cam Wilkerson's in the midfield today, and Clements stays at right back. What'd you make of the opening round overall, Patty? Because you had these 2 upsets that produced Pitt and Cal getting here. You had Wake taking a lead early on SMU. It looked like we were going to have some crazy results, and then SMU was able to come back. We ended up with a few more of the higher seeds advancing than maybe we thought early in the evening.
Well, SMU came back, then Wake came back, scored 2, and tied it at 4, only to be undone in the final seconds of that one. What did I make of the first round? I think, we talk year in and year out as we see a long throw into the box here.
Second ball's loose and straight into the hands of Jack Moxham, the Pitt goalkeeper. Not a lot behind that header in the end from Kieran Bracken-Sarah.
Yeah, John, we talk year in and year out as we see this. This is the second ball really on these long throws, what you want. It's a good throw into the box. This one flicked to the back, and it's just hard for Bracken-Sarah to get enough on it to test Moxham in the end.
Couple of loose touches there, but this is Lasadal, very dangerous for Pitt. Forcing Park to defend. Badere, neat 1-2. Didn't get much on his shot, but it deflects into the corner. And Lasadal will keep it in there. And Pitt frustrated, but a player down. Rashawn Clark saying head injury, immediately motioning for the medical staff to get out there. And Pitt can protest, but Rashawn Clark, the referee, is using his judgment and I think the medical directives that all the referees have received to make that decision.
Well, that's right. We're going to look back on it, but it's a good hit from Tomas Badere and goes straight off the face there of DeAndre Pickett. And as you know, Rashawn Clark stopping the game immediately for a head injury. That is the right decision, and that is the directive for our officials. So it's a good decision in the end from the center referee.
Pickett Jr. from Tucson. Junior college All-America the last couple of years, in his first year at Cal now. See if Cal has to make a change early here, or if Pickett's can resume. Again, if you come out of the first half, you can't come back in until the second. Although with head injuries, you're usually allowed a short-term replacement as the player gets evaluated. So that's also an option for Cal here.
And again, just comes across here at Tomas Bader, and he hits this one right on the screws, right off the face there of DeAndre Pickett. And you just hope for Pickett and for Cal that he can shake that one off, because he is such a key piece of that back line for the Golden Bears.
Good to see Pickett able to walk off here. And we'll wait and see what the Cal adjustment is. I don't think it's going to be like for like. We're seeing Rohan McElligott, an attacking midfielder, getting his jersey on as Cal staff will evaluate Pickett.
And likely what you'll see is Clements go into the middle, Wilkerson drop deep into that right back spot, and then move Bracken-Sarah as the defensive midfielder. So sort of a bunch of different pieces here at play for Leonard Griffin. Definitely something to watch, though, because if Pickett cannot re-enter, this is a much different look for Cal than we would expect.
Restart with a drop right where Pitt had it. Dahl happy to be the one to recover and wins a corner kick. Big moment here. Again, Pickett's going to be one of your main guys defending a set piece, and so Cal has to get these marking adjustments right immediately.
And Pitt loves to whip this ball in right on top of the goalkeeper. Look for him to really put a lot of numbers in the 6-yard box, see if they can find a flick.
One hand. Yeah.
Villamajana is 14, right near the penalty spot. He's usually the main target for Pitt on these. It's too high for him, didn't get all the way through, but Cal hasn't cleared it yet. Now they do. And neat hold up there and a chance to break. Pitt with a lot of numbers back though, and no chance for Noe Morales to get anywhere.
That's really good recovery there from Lasse Dahl, all the way from his left winger spot, not allowing the Golden Bears to get out there and find that counterattack.
That's a good sign for Cal right there. They wanted to high press, even though Pitt is normally known as a team that can play through a press. Cal wanted to see if they could put some pressure on, and they win the ball right there.
Well, and the thing for Leonard Griffin and for Cal is they're comfortable in sitting a little deeper and taking on some of that pressure, but it's hard to do for 90 minutes, especially against a team like Pitt, which is so dynamic through possession. So to your point, if they can press the line of confrontation a bit higher and try to press into Pitt's half and find some of those takeaways, it's going to take off not only some of that pressure in their own half, but some of the physicality of this game and the amount of running that Cal's being asked to do.
Pitt already 4 shots in this game. They only had 5 the entire game against Clemson. Some of that, of course, is how good Clemson is. Some of it is game state because Pitt got an early goal and held it. Certainly you get the sense we have maybe a back and forth game, a pretty even matchup in this one. No foul whistled. Kaku Nishimura comes away with it, junior from Yokohama, Japan. And a San Jose State transfer, but unable to hold it there. Another chance for Dahl to go end line, and that time he ran out of room. Connor Lamb, they say, is our leader, even if he's not the goalkeeper who goes 90 every time. Whether he's starting, subbing, or not playing, he always leads the same, Leonard Griffin said. Whether on the field, off the field, in the locker room, he's the guy this group looks to. A sixth-year graduate student from Santa Barbara. That one got through to Dahl. Grayson Carter leaves it for Beau. His low shot was blocked. I mean, Pitt is letting fly, Patty, anytime they're within 20 yards. Torson's layoff, driven over, saved over the top by Lamb. Good reaction as this barrage of Pitt efforts continues.
Well, how's that for a let fly there from our Noville Majada right at the top of the 18 here, but it's a good move from Pitt in the end. And then a really sophisticated layoff from Albert Thorson just to lay it into the path of Vil Majada, who hits that one right on the screws. It's a fantastic tip from Connor Lamb to keep this game scoreless.
As you may have heard, Pickett back in the game. Fantastic sign for Cal here in the 20th minute. Carter's corner. Headed down but blocked by Pickett, right back in the game, and he's able to clear. So there's Pickett right back on the field and called into action immediately. And McElligott will be available later in the half as a sub. That doesn't count as your re-entry when it's for a head injury. And Patty, last year, again, we told you they played at Pitt. Pitt was #1 in the country. Cal hadn't won an ACC game yet. And Cal scored early and then held off a Pitt barrage. 7 saves in that one for Marco Brogger, including a penalty kick to let Cal win that one. And we're seeing Connor Lamb see a similar volume of leather in the first half today.
That's sort of what Cal does. I mean, they're really comfortable in playing in these big matchups and can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the conference and the country, really. And they can find ways to win games that are different. They're a little bit, outside the box, but they're also deep. I mean, you're going to see this Cal team go 15, 16, 17 bodies deep, and that's so important here, especially as you know, both these teams traveling cross-country midweek, and there's going to be some really tired legs, especially as this game goes deep into the second half.
Yeah, making those subs less than halfway through the first half. McElligott comes back in. Callan Lewis in, Malcolm Zelaya in, as that cross is knocked out for a throw-in. Hear the energy as well from the Cal bench. You got the students right behind the goal there.
Here we go, fellas, strong!
Long throw, really dangerous, and caught by Moxham. Pitt did a good job of shielding the goalkeeper there from too many bodies in front of him. Callan Lewis whistled for the foul against Beau and gets a head-to-head meeting with Rashawn Clark as well.
It's just a little late there, is it, on the challenge from Cal. Pitt's going to do this, though. They're going to try to play out of the back, even with that high line of confrontation from Cal. So look at if Pitt is able to break that first line and not give up the ball in a bad spot like this, they'll have success going forward.
So it was high pressure that scored the only Cal goal last year at Pitt. It was a blocked clearance that went straight in. Little hold up from Pitt to try and get them forward here. No offside flag against Torsen, and it runs out for a throw-in. This is McElligott. He came back in for his second stint of the first half, having spelled Pickett after the injury. And now Cal will go all the way back to Connor Lamb. No score, 24th minute. First of 4 ACC men's soccer quarterfinals this afternoon. And into the evening. Number 1 Virginia didn't have to play in the first round. Faces number 9 North Carolina in the second game. Number 3 NC State, number 6 Syracuse at 6 Eastern, and then the final game, 5 p.m. Pacific. Number 2 Stanford, I should say, after losing the last game of the regular season to Cal against number 7 SMU. Pickett readying the long throw. Sure hands from Moxham as that one came in on the bounce. Patty, you ever have people yelling at you field side and it got to you, it distracted you at all as a player, or you heard, hey, that one's pretty funny, or were you able to block it out pretty easily?
The answer is yes. I think if people are that close to you, you're certainly going to hear it, and some of them are quite funny. I can remember as a freshman, I got hit by an object about 8 minutes into my college career at an unnamed former ACC school, and so some of these
Why can't we name it?
They're additive, really, to the atmosphere. Even if they're not playing on your side, you're going to love to play in front of fans like this. As you see, just another bump here. It's a really good hold-up play there from Zelaya to invite the contact and win a free kick. But, you know, Cal has built a good following here and a good fan base in which they can get right tight to that goalkeeper and see if they can get in Moxham's ear all afternoon.
Nishimura to deliver. Villamajana rising highest at the back post defensively for Pitt. Cal in white, Pitt in black this morning on the Berkeley campus. Little space. Sliding block, knocking it out for a corner kick, the second for Cal this morning.
It's been a good stretch here in the last 5 minutes. It hasn't been from Cal. They've really pinned Pitt in and are starting to build into these set pieces. This is not a Cal team that's going to have a ton of chances through the run of play, but if you can build up those long throws from Pickett as well as some of these corner kicks, you get the sense that perhaps you're going to find that chance and perhaps poke a goal in.
Got numbers at the back post, send it back in toward the middle. Cal still trying to create. Turnaround effort with a good one from McElligott, but sent it over the top. It's really been since the subs came on, Patty, right? They made 3 changes in the 20th minute, and Cal has been pressuring ever since.
Well, the substitutes have been really additive. The degree of difficulty technically from Rohan McElligott is sky high here. He does really well there to turn and try to put one on frame. But you're right, the 3 subs in which Leonard Griffin has inserted have really brought some energy to this group, and you can feel the crowd starting to build into it. And for Cal, can you capitalize and find a goal here before halftime? Because this is one of the better stretches that they're going to find all morning. More
pressure. This is Zelaya trying to turn. Poked away for another, no, it's out for a throw-in in the corner rather than a corner itself.
And again, on these long throws from DeAndre Pickett, you want to watch the second ball because it's not going to be a direct header on frame, but almost every single time will you see that after the initial challenge, that ball's going to drop down. That's where it's really dangerous because of the trajectory of these throws.
See the congestion around the goalkeeper, Moxham. You can't throw it directly in with no touch, but you're able to apply so much pressure. In this case, it's out for a corner. Griffin thinks Nishimura can play professionally. Centerman, his second season at Berkeley. Delivering another one left-footed. Back to Nishimura. Driven and blocked on the way through. Moxham was on his heels, but the shot didn't get all the way to the netminder.
More sustained pressure here from Cal. It's another one of those second balls that just pops out. That's a tremendous strike and an even better block from Nicholas Sorensen. But again, Cal has really found a way to put sustained pressure on that Pitt back line, pushing for that opening goal.
Wow, Moxham indecisive there. Bordered on a violation. It wasn't called, and it'll be a throw-in for Pitt.
Of course, you can't put the ball down and then pick it back up, but there Jack Moxham just sort of keeping that right paw on the ball the entire time. But it's been a little bit of a nervy stretch here in the last 10-15 minutes for Pitt. This is a team who loves to play through possession, who has a really talented midfield. Cal is, with that pressure, has not allowed them to find the tempo that they look for in the Jay Vidovich squads.
That one will be a goal kick, and we'll see if Pitt can calm itself and right the ship in terms of playing through this press. Leonard Griffin, a national champion at UCLA, now in his 4th year at Cal. Haven't been to the NCAA tournament since 2019. Cam Wilkerson breaking forward. Layoff was intercepted. You can see Pitt doesn't just hack it to midfield. They try and pass out of the back, which can be their undoing, but in this case, they're able to win the free kick.
Well, they play such an attractive brand of soccer. The issue is, though, if you're not tidy and you're not clean on the ball, which they have not been in the last 15 minutes, Pitt's going to struggle to break this press and go long. So if you're Pitt, do you perhaps try to go long on one or two of these just to relieve that pressure, to stretch Cal, and then you can get back to knocking it around and finding those pockets in midfield in which they were doing in the opening 10-15 minutes of this match.
Neat body movement by Logan Oliver in the midfield. We haven't called his name often, but he's been one of the insertions into the lineup during this unbeaten stretch for Pitt. 5 games unbeaten coming in, and much sounder defensively, helping them win the ball in the middle. That pass didn't get through, but it is won back by the Panthers. Gavin Wetzel, big switch looking for Lassadal. Again, you don't want him running at you. Rough first touch from Casper Svenby coming over to get it, and allowed Cal to clear. Questions about which way the throw-in should go, and Rashawn Clark saying, I've got it. It's a pick throw after the initial signal had been for Cal. 33rd minute, clock counting up at Edwards Stadium to 45 in this first half. Winner heads to Cary, North Carolina for the ACC semifinals against either top-seeded Virginia or 9th-seeded North Carolina. They tangle after us in Charlottesville. Dahl on the move, trying to cut it back. Torsen got a touch to it, and Connor Lamb alertly down to scoop it up.
That's a really good build there from Pitt in finding the ball deep through Logan Oliver and clipping one in to Vil Manjano, who's done a good job in combining with Lasadal on that left-hand side. Here you see it again, just that slip into Dahl. This is where Dahl's at his best, one-on-one. Can you get to the end line? Does well to cut it back. In the end, not a whole lot of an angle there for Torsen, but one of the better builds through possession that we've seen from Pitt all morning.
Back shoulder, Nick, no sir!
Kelligott is 9. Alfredo Ortiz, 19, the left back. We'll see that one knocked out for a throw.
Long throw!
Will they leave it for Pickett? Why not?
Set up, Marty, let's go! Behind him, I'll be in front of him.
Defending a long throw as a player, Patty, you hate it, or you're kind of like, why are they doing this?
Yeah, you hate it. You hate it. Because of that trajectory, this is such a flat ball coming in. You will not see this if it's coming off a foot, and so it's so tough.
Floated to the back post, headed down, and knocked in! The opening goal for Cal! And it's the center back, Beau Morrison, who puts the Golden Bears on top.
Well, it starts with the long throw from DeAndre Pickett. This is a recycled play. It's a broken play that pops back out. A good clip into the box there from Gaku Nishimura. Cam Wilkerson does so well. Just to nod that one across, and then the big center back, having been up on the play for the set piece, Beau Morrison laying his body on the line and finding this ball in the back of the net, and the opening goal for the Cal Golden Bears.
See multiple bodies running at Moxham. He never knew where the touch was going to come from, and it's Morrison, his first goal of the year, his second of his career. And he's been one of the ever-presents. Only 3 guys have started every ACC contest for Cal. And the sophomore from Sacramento is one of them. And there is that opening goal. Cal 7-1-2 when they score first this year. The one loss was a couple weeks ago. They were up 2-0 at Virginia Tech, wound up losing it 3-2. And Patty, they just looked crushed after that game. I mean, it was players on the field, on the bench, not moving, just staring at it. And it seemed like the response from that was incredible, because after that, they came out and they beat Stanford. And then, of course, they followed it up by beating Duke in the ACC tournament. So they did respond well the last time they went down, and now they go ahead here.
Well, this is an unrecognizable team from the one we saw in that second half against Virginia Tech. Both the Stanford performance and the Duke performance, now going on almost 250 minutes in which they haven't conceded a goal. And a deserved opening goal for Cal. They've been the better team this morning thus far, really put Pitt under a lot of pressure. But this is what we've seen from Cal time and again, especially when it gets deep into season, regular season, and postseason plays. They know who they are, they're very organized, and they manufacture chances in various ways. There we saw a second chance off the long throw, but Cal will find goals just as they've done this morning. Now for Pitt, though, can they change this game? Because they look a little bit lethargic. They haven't found that possession that we're so used to from these Panther teams, and they're going to have to go at Cal a bit more than they have here in the opening 35 minutes.
Jay Vidovich felt like that Clemson game was maybe the goal and the win they had been looking for all season to turn around their fortunes. Felt like his team was still growing, but just running out of time in terms of the season to do so. Now up against it, down a goal. Pitt 7 shots in the first 20 minutes, but none in the last 15.
One thing that'll be interesting to watch here, Jonathan, as we tick towards halftime and then into the second half is, does the Cal game plan change? Because this is a Cal team that is very comfortable in dropping a little deeper in that low block. However, they've done so well with the high line of confrontations. You see a good ball in, again, here looking for Zelaya.
Yeah, why change?
Well, exactly, especially if you're going to knock that possession tempo off of Pitt and not allow the Panthers to build through possession. Now, why change? Well, if you get deep in the postseason game and you're up 1 goal, you're probably going to sit a little bit deeper and make Pitt play from in front of you. But I agree, through the first half and certainly to start the second half, there's no reason for Leonard Griffin to change anything that his team is doing because they've been so successful with that high press and not allowing Pitt to play out.
Rashawn Clark telling Gaku Nishimura he doesn't want to hear any more. Nishimura, I think, was already sliding, but the Pitt player got to the ball first.
Nishimura's had a couple of these challenges in the center of midfield in which he's come through a Pitt player there. Again, that's clearly a foul. And he's doing a little bit of chirping for Rashawn Clark, who's such a veteran in the referee spot.
Someone take his ball, he doesn't deserve it.
7 minutes until halftime. Cal with a 1-0 lead. Beau Morrison's goal in the 35th minute, following a long throw-in. Pitt dominated the opening 20 minutes, but those 3 subs by Cal in the 20th minute really seemed to shift its mentality and its press into high gear, and they have dominated since.
Jack, to that. Jack, you're very little. Jack, get your voice up. Jack, get a stretch. Jack, move back. You gotta move back.
Pass broken up by Wilkerson of Cal, but his delivery upfield is off the mark. Throw in for Pitt at the halfway line. Jackson Gilman, the captain, started the year at center back, has moved out wide left to get Nicholas Sorensen into a more comfortable spot.
Help him out, Jack! Help him out! Speak up! Help him! First, louder than Jack! Good boy! Good boy! Voice on, Jack! What lies to you, Jack?
Control by Carter off his chest. Ahead for the run of Sven B. Wanted the return pass, and again, Cal positioned well to deal with it. And that's out for a goal kick.
Patient is wrong! You got another 45 minutes of us, brother. Jack, we might need to small close and not filling those ones out.
Now, a reminder, the ACC Fall Championships continue after the quarterfinals today on Thursday with the semifinals at 5:30 and 8 Eastern. You can catch both matches right here on ACC Network and the all-new ESPN app, the home of ACC Championships. First ACC postseason event held at Cal, its 2nd year in the league. And for a Sunday morning 11 a.m. kickoff, they got a whole lot more people out than I thought they would. You're playing in a 22,000 seat stadium, so it never looks packed. But we've certainly heard the on-field presence early and often in this one.
Pretty good too, considering it was a late night cheering on the football team. Got a big win on the road at Louisville in overtime.
Probably not that late on the West Coast as compared to where some of us may be watching from. It just lets you keep the momentum going. That came off of Clement's head last. It'll be a Pitt goal kick. Moxham out to get that one. before Zelaya could get there. Moxham in trouble again. Remember, this is how they gave up a goal last year to lose to Cal. And Pitt this time gets through it, and now they say, hey, we got some numbers, we can move. That right there kind of shows the argument, Patty, for Cal potentially dropping in the second half. It's great to have that high press, but once the ball gets through it, it's a numerical advantage for Pitt. Driven low, looking for Svenby, and well defended by Wilkerson.
Yeah, I think you could go both ways, because I'm not sure what Moxham's doing with the ball there in his own six-yard box, and Cal finds a little bit of a deflection, just doesn't happen to go the right direction. But to your point, if Pitt can break that initial line and that initial press, that's when they're really good. They have to go faster, though, because they broke the line there, and then they sort of had 2 or 3 more passes. If you're able to break that first line of pressure from Cal, you have to go at the back line, and you have to ask questions in a hurry before Cal can get set into those 2 blocks of 4.
Get his legs warm. Second ball.
2 minutes to go until halftime, and Cal, of course, content at 1-0. But they'll bring up Pickett for another long throw and see if they can add to it. .6'2", 180 pounds, fancies himself a very good basketball player, I'm told. Put some air under this one. Noe Morales. Ortiz will try it and drives it over the students towards some of the track paraphernalia, but more good pressure from Cal.
And yet again, it's a second opportunity off one of those dangerous long throws from DeAndre Pickett. This left side has been really good in Noe Morales and Alfredo Ortiz, and getting forward and putting sustained pressure on that Pitt back line on the second opportunities.
Final minute now of the first half. Cal in front from Beau Morrison's goal in the 35th minute.
One minute remaining.
Broken up there, chance for Cal. There you see the footwork of Morales, very talented freshman. One touch got away from him. Ortiz delivery is dangerous. Oh, what a stop from Moxham to keep it 1-0. He may have saved Pitt's season for the moment with Zelaya right on the doorstep.
Well, it's similar to how we saw that first goal from Cal, and a ball played across. It's a nod back from Rohan McElligott to find Malcolm Zelaya, but that is a massive, massive moment in this match, Jonathan, in Jack Moxham keeping this a 1-goal game heading into halftime. If Cal finds that second goal, this is a wildly different game. Now, that man...
Underway in the second half with Pitt down a goal, attacking Cal, the winner to the ACC semifinals. And the losers' season over. They will dip under 500, not be eligible for the NCAA tournament. See right away an errant Pitt pass, and the Cal bench is up and rowdy about it. There's Marco Brauger. They do make the goalkeeper switch at halftime. A senior from Los Altos Hills, California. 7 saves last year as the starter, playing the full 90 when Cal beat Pitt, which was #1 in the country at the time. He has a better save percentage than Lamb on the year, up over 80%. Turnover there, racing into the penalty area, driven low, and Jack Moxham denies Junhwan Park yet another goal. He had scored in 3 straight games to close the regular season.
Well, if we had any questions about the high press from Cal and if it was going to continue, there's your answer. It's a good takeaway there from Cesar Cordova. A good slip in behind and a really good effort in the end on frame from Junhwan Park to go near post and try to beat Moxham. A good save in the end there from Moxham.
Yeah, Cordova, halftime substitute for Cal. We didn't see him in the first half. Nishimura to deliver once again. Neat couple of touches. Cordova couldn't get it through to anybody in white, but he made 2 men miss before that one went out of bounds. Pitt, by the way, has not made a sub. Same starting lineup as Cal attacks forward. That one's deflected. Awkward clearance with Park lurking, but Moxham able to collect. Been beset by injuries at times, so we know Pitt doesn't have everybody available. But that's also just more Jay Vidovic's style. That one stays in bounds. Collected by Morales. One slalom dribble worked. The cutback got to Cordova. Cam Wilkerson got that one across, and Logan Oliver played it out for a corner.
What a really active start here from Cesar Cordova and bringing something to this game. The UVA transfer has been really additive there in midfield and allowing Cam Wilkerson to get higher. Cal showing no signs of letting down, looking for that second goal here early in the second half.
And if there was any doubt, the hardcore fans switch sides to be behind the goal that Cal is attacking. Not the delivery Nishimura wanted, and Pitt able to deal with it. '49th minute, just underway in the second half. Our first of 4 men's soccer quarterfinals starting this morning and running all the way through to this evening, wherever you may be watching. Cal with a lead on Beau Morrison's goal. Late in the first half. Roy Morales, those tricky feet. Tricked himself that time and wound up on his seat. Torsen unable to hold the ball up, held it too long. Had his pocket picked by Cordova, but won it back. Lamajana with the switch, looking for Lasadal. One-on-one against Sintayu Clements. That one falls for Beidure, tried to curl it and got it all wrong. You could see head in his hands in frustration.
Well, Lasadal was so active in that first half. He was a bright spot for Pitt through the first 45. More the same here for the winger in getting down to the end line. In the end, that ball cut back to Tomas Beidure. He has an eternity, and almost it looked like overthought it trying to curl that one in the far post. So a good sign though for Jay Vidovich in the ability for Pitt to build in and find a chance through possession. We haven't seen that really for a while at the end of that first half. That's where Pitt's at their best. That's where they'll find an equalizer.
First shot in 30 minutes, no exaggeration, of game time for Pitt. So even though Bader skied it. Maybe something to build on. Dahl thought he was fouled by Clements. Looks like it'll just be a throw. Lasse Dahl, sophomore from Denmark.
That's a good turn here from Dahl. And yeah, I think he probably has a case there for a foul on Clements.
Second half has not been friendly to either of these squads, both with a pretty significant negative goal differential in the second half this year. Pitt needs to make it a positive today, or their season is over. We have seen some wild endings at this stadium in ACC play over the last 2 years, men's and women's side. Neat turn, Torsten trying to continue that trend and couldn't come up with it. Ortiz able to get it away for Cal. You can see Pitt creeping forward territorially. This is Jackson Gilman out of the Philadelphia Union Academy. Now to Dahl against Clements. Villamajana. Carter trying to, or Svenby trying to find that one. And the decision is throw-in coming for Pitt. Early cross, nobody in black attacking it. The second ball though. Some hands up from Pitt, appealing that.
You see Rashawn Clark having a word there with Grayson Carter, because I think that was close to a simulation call in the end.
And we do get the update from the Women's Soccer Championship. Stanford went to penalty kicks to beat Notre Dame. Stanford led that game 2-0. So yet more, I don't know why Stanford has been unable to close out games this year on the women's side, but they do end up winning it on penalty kicks to head into the NCAA tournament as conference champions. So congratulations to them. Men will try to keep their hopes alive later tonight. We are at the home of their rivals, Edwards Stadium. And Cal leading Pitt 1-0 here. Again, you never thought you'd get 12 versus 13. And yes, we have Berkeley weather as well. 73 and sunny in November. That's why most of my family has moved there. left me behind. Torsten keeps it moving, and that shot was blocked by DeAndre Pickett, who's played a big role in this one for Cal. Free kick for Pitt here.
You kind of get the feeling this game has just turned, Jonathan, in the last 5 minutes. Pitt, this is the first time we've seen in a long time some sustained possession in the Cal half. That is a really awkward challenge from Zelaya in on Logan Oliver, and you hope Oliver can pop up from that one. I don't think there's a lot of malintent, but nonetheless, Pitt has had the ability here in the last 5 minutes with some sustained possession, playing through the lines of Cal, and looked like the team that we've seen at times this fall when they're at their best. Now, can they take that possession, create some chances from it, and perhaps climb their way back into this game?
Neat 1-2, but that one crossed the end line and will run out for a goal kick. And you worry about the slide onto the track surface there. Trying to keep that one in with great effort. Was Svenby.
It's good combination play, looking for Svenby down that side. As you know, just can't quite find the ball, can the senior, and then yeah, that one's not going to feel good. Not the turf burn, but the track burn.
Would you rather have the boards up there so you go crashing into the boards, or is there any way around skinning your thigh there?
That's a tough question. I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe I would take the boards, I suppose. I can't imagine that the track feels too good on the old thigh.
Probably depends on, maybe if you can get some cushioned boards, it would be the best case scenario. 56th minute. See if Pitt can continue this momentum in terms of possession and see if they can turn it into chances, because finding goals has been a question mark for Pitt all year. All kinds of space here. Villamajana cutting it back. Beidure with the chip, and Alfredo Ortiz, the left back, up in position to cover it. Ortiz, an inventive little chip to Nishimura, who keeps it moving. Now Jinhwan Park. Dealt with by Sorensen at the near post for Pitt. Park, data science major from Korea. Has a lot of time working in Python, spends a lot more time getting goals. Almost set one up there as Morales' header was punched away by the dive of Jack Moxham. Another drive coming. Moxham spills in and able to cover the rebound before Zelaya could get there. 58th minute though, and Cal responds.
Sort of out of nowhere there from Cal, just taking on a lot of pressure. This is where what they can do, though. They'll take on that pressure, and then they'll get at you in a hurry, and finding Park out there with a good initial ball in, and then another second chance. This is the thing about Cal. They will be able to drop deep for long periods of this second half and protect that lead. But when they pick and choose their times, they tend to do so at the perfect moment. And so while they're going to want to first and foremost protect that one-goal lead, they will look to find that second goal and perhaps the dagger in this game. And this is where Park is at his best. So just a whipped ball in there. The initial header's a good one. That's a tremendous save from Jack Moxham. And then it gets recycled again, just as we saw on the goal. Cam Wilkerson this time pushes it to that right foot, puts another one straight at Moxham, who's able to cover up that second opportunity. But two really good chances in quick succession there for Cal.
Yeah, I think the first save was so fast that we didn't really appreciate how much it took and how much distance Moxham covered to get to it. Morrison in position to cover Dahl there and played out for a Pitt throw. Each team with 9 shots now. Cal's coming from 9 different players. Josh Vicek will take over for Kasper Svenby at right back. That's the first change of the game again for Pitt. And it means Svenby can't come back on until overtime if Pitt got them. Ooh, Zelaya left his feet there in that challenge. It's just out for a throw. We were talking about where Cal's line of confrontation would be in this half. Would they stay pushing higher? Would they drop deep and let Pitt have the ball some? What approach are we seeing now? As it's 60th minute, Pitt certainly had some of the ball. How would you evaluate it?
Well, you're starting to see it deeper and deeper. Now you can see on your screen that block of 5 really in midfield. with just Salaya at the front. That's a good ball over the top.
Lasse Dahl continuing, and it's stopped by Brogger from close range to preserve the lead. I think half the building thought the offside flag was going to come up, but it never did.
Well, this is something we didn't see from Pitt in the first half, and that's the direct ball over the top. If Cal's going to play that high line, this is the ball that's on. Really, Lasse Dahl should do a lot better with this ball. The first touch, he can't quite get it out from under his feet. That's a golden opportunity for the Panthers here with a half hour to play.
Kick for Cal here as Carter tried to recover.
And one thing that we really need to pay attention to here, Jonathan, as Pitt looks to equalize this game and expends a lot of energy doing so, is this Panthers team has done a lot of travel in the last 10 days. They've been at Louisville, back to Pitt. They've been at Clemson, back to Pitt, and then cross country now to Berkeley. That was a really emotionally and physically taxing game that they played midweek at Clemson. Lost Anders Bordoy in the midfield, and so a little bit of a light bench for Jay Vidovich and the Pittsburgh Panthers team. And they're going to have to dig deep and find a way to sort of expend what they have left in the tank to continue to go at Cal and find that first goal.
You saw Noe Morales replaced by Callan Lewis there. It looked like Morales was bleeding, and so that may be one where he's allowed to come back on once that's taken care of. Again, typically once you're out of a half, you can't come back in until the next period of play, whether that's the next half or overtime. Zelaya spins his man. Malcolm Zelaya takes it himself and mocks him with a huge hand to reach up and snuff it out. Still Cal on the attack. Much stick as we gave Jack Moxon for holding on to the ball in his 6. He has been absolutely immense at times for Pitt in this one. It's his 6th save of the game.
Well, 6th save of the game and 2nd world-class save in the last 10 minutes from Jack Moxon there. This is just a fantastic turn from Malcolm Zelaya to spin the defender, find his way in behind, and does really well with the left foot. It's just a strong left hand in the end from Jack Moxon to pick that one out of the top corner and keep this a 1-0 match.
Moxon, redshirt sophomore from Whitefish Bay High School outside Milwaukee. First full year as the starter after backing up Cabral Carter last year, but seeing time. Dangerous free kick here for Pitt. Carter the right footer, Sorensen the lefty. Didn't get it past the 2-man wall. Little cultured delivery there from Sorensen though. And the ball winds up on the roof of the net. Great scoring chances we've had this one. I know it's 1-0, but 6 saves for Moxon. 3 for the Cal goalkeepers combined. Not ho-hum stuff either, right? As you talked about, the quality of those saves has been really high.
That's right. These are two teams that really have been starved for goals throughout the fall, but this has been a back and forth, really entertaining match, and it's kind of amazing that it's still just a 1-goal game.
Maybe not for long. Callan Lewis ends up committing a foul after he stepped past the ball. It'll be a free kick for Pitt. Callan Lewis's father, Eddie Lewis, played in 2 World Cups for the U.S. and played at UCLA with Callan's coach, Leonard Griffin. He said that was a relatively easy recruiting trip.
That's really good stuff there from Pitt, just to combine through the midfield and find Dahl here on the left side.
Gilman will use the width. It's Dahl once again. Now the help comes. Asa Dahl working against 2. And number 2, Sintayu Clemens, shields it out for a goal kick. Clemens, Ethiopian born, raised in Seattle. Adopted during National Adoption Month at the age of 5 along with his sister. Came through the Sounders Academy, 5 years at Duke, and his grad year here at Cal. Or his super grad year, I don't know what we're terming those these days.
Well, Clemens is a guy who is really dynamic across that back line. We saw him at Duke play in the center back, right center back, and a 3-back, both at Duke and at Cal, and now playing wide and doing a really good job, especially on the defensive side of the ball with that matchup with Dahl.
Offside flag goes up and the whistle comes as that play develops. So it'll be a free kick for Pitt coming out of the back as we get some changes. And Noe Morales is going to be allowed to re-enter here. I was a little disappointed McElligott wasn't the sub for that injury as well, so he could just be in and out more times than any player in the men's game all season. Rashawn Clark wants the clock stopped. He's making that clear. Let's see what happened. It's Alfredo Ortiz bent over at the waist. Redshirt senior from Los Angeles. Both teams will use the opportunity to get some water. Ortiz got to play with his brother Raul in junior college, transferred in from Cerritos College. And Leonard Griffin had high words for him too, number 19. He stands just 5'5". He's worried that Ortiz will get overlooked, but says you can put him in any system, any lineup, any level, left back at a 4, wing back at a 5, midfield, and he has the tools to adapt. So hoping for more soccer in his future. Of course, we've never had so many professional teams in the U.S. as we do now, so there are opportunities out there. But these guys very much focused right now on Cary, North Carolina, and the ACC semifinals. That's the prize for the winner of this one. Either Virginia or North Carolina on Thursday night. Switch here finds Dahl. Do you want him to go more quickly there before the defense gets set? Or is it, hey, I got to have support from teammates before I make my move?
Well, I think ideally, if there's an opportunity for Dahl to go quickly and go one-on-one, we've seen how dynamic it can be. That being said, though, Asa Dahl has put in a huge shift here through 67 minutes, up and back, same as he was for 90 minutes against Clemson. So at some point, it's reasonable to think he's perhaps running out of legs. That being said, if you don't go quick against Cal, they will sit in and drop into those 2 blocks of 4, or even a block of 5 in midfield. It's really difficult to break down. So if you're Pitt and you can get the ball in transition and go quick, you got to do so. If not, you can reset and find those pockets of space to try to break down what has been a really stingy back line for Cal thus far.
And the goalkeeper sharing the load. Marco Brager, mechanical engineering major, was the starter last year, and he's the second half guy right now after Connor Lamb started the game. So unusual to find that, especially on the men's side and especially in the postseason, but it's worked for Cal. They have a third goalkeeper, Zach Ando, who they have confidence in, who has seen minutes. Alan Lewis came back on. You may have seen 23 in white, and helps Cal win a corner here. There's Brager. Academic All-America last year as well. Sixth corner kick for Cal as number 6, Gaku Nishimura, prepares to send it in. A lot of Pitt athletes behind the goal. I think some other people have decided to join them as the game goes on, decided that's where the fun is at, is down behind the goal. And if Cal could get another, the party would really be on. Neat pass out of trouble there from Logan Oliver. Ian Baydure, the deep-lying midfielders supporting Villamajana for Pitt. A little bit of frustration from Villamajana as that ball skipped off his chest. Cal's not subbing a ton, but just being able to change your wingers and your forwards and the guys doing the pressing really gives you an advantage over Pitt, which has just used the one sub all day.
And you'll see Cesar Cordova going into the book here, just a professional foul not to allow Lasse Dahl to start a little bit of a counterattack. But you're right, Jonathan. I mean, you can get the sense, you see Dahl stretching it out there, that his wingers, especially for Pitt, are starting to get a bit leggy as we see it's a good job by Pitt here to win a ball in midfield and try to get out, and Cordova's never going to let that happen. If you're Pitt, you're going to have to get those outside backs more involved as this game ticks on in the final 20 minutes. Jackson Gilman at the left back spot's a guy who is more defensive minded, but without Kasper Svenby on the right, this is a different looking Pitt team, and so between Josh Vicek at that right back spot and Gilman at the left back spot, you're going to have to overload the wide areas and try to commit some more numbers forward, see if you can find that first goal.
Our crack research crew has pointed out that Pitt has only scored 1 goal in the last 20 minutes all year, and that was down 2-0 against Maryland, a consolation goal. So the lack of depth may be impacting those results the final 20 minutes. This is a challenge for Pitt to make this up.
Yellow card has been switched for Cal in the 17th for Cesar Cordova out of the game, number 9, Beau Morrison.
Cordova brought some good touches early. Removed here with the 1-0 lead, 20 minutes to go. Virginia, North Carolina to follow in our quadruple header of quarterfinals today. Breakfast in Berkeley, lunch in Charlottesville. I guess we're having tea in Raleigh and dinner in Stanford.
Tea, I think it's happy hour in Raleigh.
It's always happy hour somewhere, Patty. Here's Dahl into the penalty area. Neat touch there. Carter couldn't get a look on the favored right foot, kept the ball moving. Possession for Pitt. The shot didn't get through and is hacked away. Zelaya managed to do that managed to do it without fouling.
Zelaya's been a real bright spot, and beyond what he's brought to the attack from that center forward spot, he's just been allowed Cal to get out and relieve some of that pressure through his hold-up play and that big frame that he has. Just been really physical and done the work for the Bears on that attacking side of the ball.
Callan Lewis working the right wing. Back post, headed clear. Cal still attacking it though with Wilkerson. Hard challenge head-to-head with Dahl. Still Cal going, Wilkerson. Denied by Moxham at the near post. Dahl was up, but now will get some attention. He came off the worse for wear from that collision.
Well, it's a really physical challenge here, right in midfield from Dahl on Cam Wilkerson. It's a good no call for me from Rashawn Clark to allow this play to pass on, because that's just a 50-50 coming together. There's no foul and the right decision. In the end, out for a corner here for Cal.
We didn't see what happened with Moxham. Certainly the Cal students there had strong opinions about it. It is a corner for Nishimura. Zelaya was arriving but couldn't put that one on target. Cal approaching 270 minutes, which is of course 3 full games since allowing a goal against Wake Forest in the 71st minute of that game. Shut out Louisville, shut out Clemson. And 17 minutes away from another flight east. So, in need of a spark, Miguel Bertrand comes on for Pitt, and again, we told you, we could all see Lasadal was about out of gas, so Bertrand will try to bring the attacking incisiveness to get Pitt back in the game. We're back on level terms, I guess. You're always in the game in a 1-goal game. 74th minute, Cal's led since the 35th minute, when their center back, Beau Morrison, scored off to the north end of Edwards Stadium. Wilkerson backtracking to recover that one.
And it looks like the insertion of Bertrand is in that center forward. He'll likely play mostly as a false 9 and push Albert Thorson to that left side. Neither of those guys there are going to be as vertical as we saw from Lasadal, so it's something to watch here.
That was a vertical run from Villamajana, almost got through. Pitt has to take more chances here down the stretch. They need to be urgent but not rush, goes the saying. Down a goal, 15.5 minutes to play. This is Thorson. Again, he's been centrally most of the game. Gets the return pass. Great work. Bertrand's shot took a deflection, and Thorson knew he was offside, so he didn't even go after it, and it's a Pitt corner kick.
Set pieces all the more important now as we tick towards 15 minutes left in this match. Can you get a good service in from Grayson Carter? Look for Villamajana, number 14 on your screen, right in the center of that 6-yard box to be the target.
High number of block shots for Cal today. Switches it for Jackson Gilman, a couple of Philadelphia Union Academy players. This is Oliver back on it. is crowded in zone 14, right where that arc crowns the top of the penalty area. This comes back to the goalkeeper, Brogger. How do you deal with it, Patty, when there's so many bodies in there and you need to find a way through to get a goal?
You got to stretch the game, whether that be vertically in behind or wide. When the team's going to drop this deep, you're going to have to find the ball in wide areas like this one for Thorson down the left-hand side.
Thorson's been a winger in years past, spent much of this year at forward, drops it off. Pitt will have all the possession numbers for the second half. Can they create the dangerous opportunity? Bertrand's cross deflected and cleared. Neat control from Gilman, little skill check. No incoming for Pitt. 12.5 minutes to play. And the clock will stop on the substitution as the team leading makes a sub here late. As Lukic will return to replace Zelaya. And Zelaya didn't get the goal right before halftime, but so dangerous, so much work up front there.
On a really good shift off the bench from Malcolm Zelaya, just doing the work on both sides of the ball, and especially with that hold-up play to allow the relief of some of the pressure from Pitt.
Giancarlo Moda in as well.
Also out of the game, number 11, number 23, Cameron Lewis. In the game, number 3, Giancarlo Moda, and number 25, Isaiah Thomas.
And Isaiah Thomas on for the first time as well. Junior, who has started 4 times this year, gets a good run off the bench, trying to close this out.
Well, Thomas will be another number at the back line. Now you're going to see Cal drop very deep, make it difficult for Pitt to get in behind.
Clear header and an open look, and it's over the top. Oh, frustration for Logan Oliver, who snuck into such a great spot.
Well, it's a really quality service into the box here to find Logan Oliver. He times the header really well, just can't quite get above that one and knot it down and back across the goal. But Vicek does well down that right-hand side to add a number, to put a dangerous service into the box. Unfortunately for Logan Oliver, just can't quite find the frame.
Guy who's battled injuries throughout his career. This is the longest sustained stretch he's been able to stay on the field at Pitt. Last year, Cal was the 11th seed. Made it to the semifinals with upsets of North Carolina 2-1, of Duke 2-0. Finally fell to Clemson, but in a real thriller, 3-2. Trying to get back to the semifinals this year. Torson's cross blocked by Clemens. Villamajana heads down, but nobody able to get on the end of it.
It's good work from Pitt, though, in finding these wide areas. We talked about how difficult it is to break down a team like Cal dropping deep in possession. Now we've seen a couple times in the last few minutes able to get balls wide. This is a good ball into the box there to find the on-rushing Villamajana. Just can't quite get enough on that header to test Marco Brauer, but with 10 minutes to play, you get the sense Pitt should have a couple more chances if they continue to ask questions like they've done the last few minutes.
Bertrand got in position to win that foul. You don't really have time to stay down and stretch when there's 10 minutes left in your season. Head and hands moment for Gavin Wetzel there. It'll be a throw in for Cal on the far side. Took a little too long to retrieve the ball though, and so Rashawn Clark stopping the clock.
It stopped! It stopped!
Row, be ready. On your toes. Come on. Seconds, Row. We need it. John got seconds. We need them.
First second.
Lukic stepping past one. You can hear the roar from the crowd. Sorensen finally stood him up. But the energy around this Cal team right now, Patty, so positive.
They can start to feel it both on the field and in the stands. Cal just putting all the effort in to try to see this game out and potentially a second straight trip to the ACC semifinal.
Josh Vicek to throw in for Pitt. One of the two subs they've used. Here's the roar of applause for Giancarlo Mota winning that throw in. Neat turn in the center circle. Timing wasn't there on the run of Torsen. And by now, right, Cal has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 behind the ball, 10 behind the ball. That delivery headed clear with a player lurking at the back post. Had to get that header right. Pitt, 4, 5 players in the penalty area waiting for a delivery. Gilman is up there.
Well, you got numbers. You got to put this ball in the box. I get being patient, but now look at how many black shirts on that 18-yard box. Here's the service.
Pitt started strong in this game, but since about the 21st minute, it's favored Cal. They got the goal in the first half from Beau Morrison and are now trying to hold on for an unlikely spot in the semifinals for a second straight year. We get you to Charlottesville for Virginia and North Carolina after this one finishes. First of 4 quarterfinals on ACC Network today. Too casual or just right?
It's really a balance. I think it's a bit casual though for 6 minutes left to play. You got to go a little bit more direct. It's tough though because Cal is dropping so deep and you don't want to just waste away possession. That being said, we've started to see now Pitt and the black shirts committing numbers forward, and 5.5 to play. It's time to put balls into the box, see if you can manufacture some chances.
Here's Lukic trying to hold it up for Cal. And he did win a throw-in. Again, Cal will stop the clock to make it sub. And Kieran Bracken-Sarah coming back on for the first time since the 21st minute. Touch there to get it out wide for Bertrand. His delivery with runners, headed clear by Pickett. And he was felled by a ball to the head earlier, and this time it's a collision with a player, according to Rashawn Clark. And DeAndre Pickett back to his feet.
And a strong header away there from DeAndre Pickett at a really vital time in this match. This Cal back line, though, they have bent but not broke. They have been very, very solid all night long, afternoon long, excuse me, not allowing really any service into the box to create chances for Pitt.
Oxum did well to head that to where a teammate could get to it, didn't have to give up a throw. Instead, Pitt has possession. 4 minutes to go, chasing and trying to save their season. Bertrand, one of the two substitutes. Delivery finally and connected, but the header well wide.
But if you're Cal, I think you're going to take that, a 14-yard header off a 40-yard service into the box. That's something that they'll be happy to see through this final 3 minutes. But it's a frustrating day for that man, Arnaud Villamanjana. Just hasn't seen enough of the ball, hasn't been in dangerous enough spots, and really only half chances to speak of thus far.
You're tuning in for Virginia and North Carolina. We'll get you out there as soon as this one finishes. The winner of this one will play the winner of our next game in Thursday's semifinals. This is Edwards Stadium in Berkeley, the first ACC championship event held at Berkeley. And it is going the Bears' way right now, courtesy of Beau Morrison's 35th minute goal, following a long throw-in when the ball was sent back into the penalty area and the big center back got to it at the back post. Jack Moxham of Pitt has 6 saves. He's actually been the busier goalkeeper, but it's Marco Brager of Cal under the most pressure right now. The ball runs all the way through. Vicek played it across. And Cal with so many bodies in there, able to knock it to midfield.
Really heavy play there from Alfredo Ortiz. Not to play that one, but instead just to pump fake and see it out. This will tick, tick, tick of the clock and really waste another at least 30 seconds here on a goal kick.
I do have Chris Berman's voice in my head. Tick, 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 tick. It is an NFL Sunday after all. Pitt has it in the middle. Just over a minute to play. Haven't created any clear chances in the last 15 minutes or so as they chase this. And it's off of Pitt last for a goal kick, and that's going to waste some more time. Cal closing in on this.
Well, it might be time to start talking about these Cal Golden Bears for the NCAA tournament, let alone a trip to the semifinals in the ACC tournament. The RPI of 58, but I mean, 3 of the biggest results across college soccer that we've seen in the last few weeks, in beating Stanford, beating Duke on the road, and then 20 seconds away from beating a very good Pitt team here in the quarterfinal.
Yellow card to Sorensen, I believe, for not taking the throw-in from the correct spot. It honestly favors Pitt a little bit because it stops the clock. I've never understood this with the losing team taking a yellow card late. Cal can restart now. Pitt, beg your pardon, will send it in. Bertrand, Pitt's last chance, back post, off the crossbar, almost inches away for Pitt, and Cal somehow, someway is off to the semifinals again.